Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To Dr. Nur Lalatusna. So today, my group will be presenting on the laws of relating to maternity and paternity protection in Malaysia. And our presentation will cover 7 parts. Number 1 is the purpose of the law, employees under the scope of the law, employees' legal obligations, major benefits under the law, analysis of the effectiveness of the law, latest statistics and reference cases, and then the conclusion. Here is my group member. Me is Nur Adhan binti Ismail, and then my friends Nurul Farhan binti Mat Jaafar and Iridiana binti Harizan. So I will start with the purpose of the law. So the purpose of maternity and paternity protection laws is to safeguard the welfare of employees and their families during childbirth and early childcare. And then specifically the laws is aimed to protect the health and well-being of pregnant employees, to provide paid maternity leave so mothers can recover from childbirth and care for their newborns, and then they protect female employees from dismissal or discrimination due to pregnancy, and allows fathers to participate in early childcare through paid paternity leave, and then to promote work-life balance and family welfare. Next, let us look at who is covered under the law. For maternity protection, under the Employment Act 1955, all the employees are generally entitled to maternity protection, regardless of salary level. They are entitled to 98 days of paid maternity leave for each confinement, and then the maternity allowance if they meet the eligibility requirements under the Act. And then for paternity protection, under the same Act, married male employees are entitled to paternity leave if they are legally married to the child's mother, have been employed by the same employer for at least 12 months, and notify the employer of the pregnancy or expected delivery date.
Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Nur Farhani binti Mat Jaafar. Today, I will present about employees' legal obligation and major benefits employees are entitled to under the law. Under Malaysian law, employers also have certain responsibilities when taking maternity or paternity leave. For maternity leave, female employees should inform their employer about the pregnancy and expected delivery date, and they must meet the legal eligibility requirements set out in the Employment Act. For paternity leave, eligible employees must be legally married to the child's mother, meet the required service period, and notify the employer properly before taking leave. These obligations are important because they help employers manage leave arrangements smoothly while ensuring that employees receive the protection and benefits provided by the law. Next is about major benefits employees are entitled to. Under Malaysian employment law, employees are entitled to important protection during pregnancy and early parenthood. For mothers, the law provides 98 consecutive days of paid maternity leave, along with the maternity allowance if eligibility requirements are met. Employers must also protect pregnant employees from dismissal simply because of pregnancy. For fathers, eligible married male employees are entitled to 7 days of paid paternity leave. These protections help employees balance work and family's responsibilities while keeping their job secure. Overall, Malaysian law supports equality, job security, and family welfare by ensuring employees receive leave and pay, also protection during this important stage of life. That's all from me. Thank you.
Did you know that even with stronger maternity and paternity protection, many Malaysian employees still face challenges at work? Let's explore how far the law has really helped and where the gaps remain. I will explain. To understand this, we'll use the data from the OSM, which is the Department of Statistics Malaysia, our National Statistics Agency, and OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which sets global benchmark for the labour and family policies. In this slide, you can see the achievement that have Malaysian achieved for the maternity and paternity leave. Malaysia has made progress. Maternity leave was extended from 60 days to 98 days under the Employment Act 1955, Amendment 2022. Paternity leave was introduced 7 days in the private sector and 14 days for civil servant. For the SOCSO, the Social Security Organization, they provide maternity allowance for employees that are not covered by the employer, which is the paid leave. And industrial court's ruling prohibits dismissal due to pregnancy, showing that legal protection is in its place. However, this achievement also comes with the limitation and a few of complaints. But the paternity leave is still short compared to OECD average of 2 until 4 weeks. Enforcement gaps remain, with inquiry complaints recorded by Labour Department and SOCSO, including dismissal during pregnancy, denial of maternity leave, and pressure to resign or return early. Awareness is also low within people, with many employees unaware of SOCSO maternity allowance, and there are also disparity between the public and private sector that can be seen. The public they have many days of leave. However, the private sector, they are urgency of need of their employee to come back early. And next is based on the statistic and the case that have happened. According to DOSM 2025, female labour force participation is 56% compared to men at around 80%. Fertility rates remain below replacement at 2.1. SOCSO's 2024 report show a rise in maternity allowance claims after the amendment, but also complaints of unfair treatment. EPF data highlight that many women withdraw their savings early due to career breaks, weakening retirement security. A key case is Kesatuan Kebangsaan Pekerja-Pekerja Bank versus Malaysian Banking Berhad, which is the Industrial Court 2023. This case law where the employer was found guilty of discriminatory dismissal against a pregnant employee. This showed that while the law is easy, enforcement is still needed. And from this slide, we can also see a table of the international comparison. If we compare internationally, Singapore provides 16 weeks maternity leave and 2-week paternity leave, while OECD countries average is 14 plus week maternity and 2 until 4 weeks of paternity leave. Malaysian maternity leave is competitive, but paternity leave remains short, limiting gender balance in caregiving responsibility. That is what the comparison in the table show. In conclusion, we can see that the Malaysians have a law relating to maternity and paternity leave that is an exclusive for the women and men. However, Malaysian law have partially achieved its purpose and not entirely. It has strengthened the maternity protection from before, which is from the 30 days to now 98 days, and introduced the paternity leave, supported by the SOCSO allowance and industrial court rulings. But challenge still remains: short paternity leave, weak enforcement, cultural barrier, and sectoral inequality. Statistic complaints and international cooperation already show that more reforms are needed to fully achieve the law's purpose. And even though there is a law that is protecting the maternity and paternity, However, some company, especially on the private sector, they are still doing what they think is correct. They can dismiss the pregnant woman or a married woman, or they can also urge their employee to come work early and so on. So this is what happened in the Malaysian maternity and paternity law that we are facing nowadays. And that's all from us. Thank you.